What up, penophiles? It's me, your boy, intern Tom from Pen Island Inc. back with another bullshit pen review. Today, I'll be reviewing the Bic Cristal Extra Boooold. The Extra Bold and Black. The Extra Smooth's younger brother, who swears that girth matters more than longevity, even though he hasn't touched a paper in years. So let's start with another unboxing attempt. I got some DMs and sidebar comments from assholes giving me shit for the way I was holding a knife, like I was Kendall Jenner cutting a cucumber. I didn't take too kindly to that, since apparently my patience comes with a shorter warranty than their common sense. And I stand corrected. So the pen is known for its smooth ink flow, so you can glide across the paper like you're signing autographs instead of scribbling your grocery list. And let's not forget the iconic hexagonal design that makes it feel like you're holding the most budget-friendly Excalibur in your hand. It's perfect for bold statements, passive-aggressive notes, and, I don't know, maybe drawing endless lines, straight lines actually, to see how fast it runs out of ink. Now that I found the pen, let's remove the cap and take a closer look at the pen. My favorite part of unboxing is actually not cutting it open, but looking very closely at the rubber tip placed at the ballpoint, because I like to chew on it. Yum. Alright, you know what? Enough of that. So let's begin the monotonous task of drawing lines where I ramble about mundane things. So the first episode was not a huge success. I shared the video with all 5 of my friends, and I was disappointed when I went to the analytics page on YouTube and they collectively only watched 30 minutes, even though the show was 30 minutes long. One girl swore she saw the whole video, and then she's like, "I can't believe I dated you," and I was gobsmacked. And you know what I said? I said, "Yeah, that's before I peaked, bitch." No, I didn't say that to her, but I'm definitely not lending her a pen. It's the last time I share my accomplishments, since it seems like everyone else would rather downplay my hard work rather than admit that they've been binge-watching reality TV show instead of doing anything remotely productive. Anyone from Stupid Town or from Dumb Fuckistan would love this concept that I made up. I guess I don't blame them, since I would be spending my time playing games like Squad, where my communication skills are superb and with minimal stuttering. It's a lot easier to identify rifle fire in the left ear and telling your squad mates, "Shots fired from 10 o'clock, bearing 247. Everyone's got to take position, prepare for contact." It's too easy, but talking to someone about how disappointed you are in them for falsely misleading you about being genuinely interested in how long pens last is not something I'm prepared for. I should just stick to games to satisfy myself, or maybe mind games, so I can emotionally manipulate and record my disappointment with all my tally marks. Maybe I won't do that, but I'm counting how many days I have been smoked that have been smoked with tally markers. I like a piece of paper taped to a wall at work that says no smoko counter, but people are more interested in what smoko means rather than how successful I have been not smoking. Which is okay, because they ignore the number of cheat days I take as well, but it does distract them from the accomplishments of seeing me draw that diagonal line. When you draw 4 lines and you draw that diagonal line, it makes you feel like you're a businessman counting all the pennies you save by reusing coffee filters in your employee break room. I think as kids we all try to fantasize about moments we thought were cool or fun, like crushing Smarties in fine dust and inhaling it through a wrapper to only blow it out like you're smoking. Or you take a mechanical pencil, and then press on the top slightly just to let a couple centimeters of lead out, and then pretend like you're injecting a needle of drugs in your arm. It's kind of like it's not like anything, but my mind is more going towards like how Dare program really failed us. It exposed us to all the inanimate objects that look like the things that they're trying to prevent us from doing. It's like a form of imitation that we all try to do, similar to how kids, they'll take like their toy lawnmowers and then walk it behind their dad, who's actually lawn mowing, but like God forbid you see the kid pretend to be drunk off pineapple juice, because it looks like the whiskey that the dad desperately needs after failing to get the promotion because he was called, quote, immature for eating a ring pop and getting everything sticky at work from the sugar-infused saliva dripping into the refrigerator door handle. Do I even need to like talk through this? Like, it kind of seems like this can just be an entire ASMR video with a random sharp crackle or something that startles you because I didn't edit the sound properly when I sped it up by 15,000%. Because I'm not like Adobe Premiere wizard. I'm more like a roommate that has some juice in a bottle, and like I leave a little in the bottle so that it looks like I meant well by leaving you some in the bottle. I do this to myself in my own fridge because I'm pretty lazy, and future intern Tom can finish the bottle and throw it away. Not currently cool Tom. Partially because I know like if I pour the rest of it into a cup, it will have to be at the brim, and then you have to do this delicate ballerina shuffle to make sure it doesn't spill from one counter to another. And then the other reason is that like I don't feel like turning 180 degrees to throw it in a trash can because it's probably full. And I wish the trash cans were bottomless pits, so you don't have to worry about it anymore. Kind of like in the 50s where you'd have like a hole in your bathroom wall. And for all you lot lizards, it's not the truck stop kind, but the kind where you throw away like used razor blades and then fuck up the family house of house flippers by forcing them to get a tetanus shot after slamming a sledgehammer into a pile of like rusty razors that jettison into their stomach because they actually hit the wood frame while you hit the razors, sending them back into their like sawdust-ridden face like a kind of rusty shrapnel grenade. And then suddenly you're not just flipping houses, you're flipping your intestines inside out because you got a blade lodged into your spleen. Where's it going? I just realized I didn't really make it clear about the kind of guy who's too lazy to do things. That doesn't, make him an Adobe Premiere wizard, but it's kind of what happens when you digress too much, and frankly, I don't know where my train of thought was going with that. I think what I was trying to say was that I'm creatively efficient. Like, I do what I need to do to get by, like a college kid getting by on ramen noodles. You just don't look in the drawer, you might find packets of his Japanese suicide shots. But when it comes to cooking, forget about it. I don't need a recipe. I just throw shit in a pan and call it like deconstructed cuisine. If I burn it, it's caramelized. If it's undercooked, it's rare. It's not that I'm a bad cook. I'm just like a pioneer trying to try new things. I'm like a Elon Musk of the kitchen, except instead of rockets, I'm launching half raw pork into my stomach while I'm eating a handful of albendazoles, all for the little homies inside of me. I could do this all day. Like a doctor asked me once like where my genius is and comes from, and I couldn't tell her that I lacked higher education, so I had to explain to her that probably my creativity is breaking down complex ideas like explaining how mudbutt is more atrocious than supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, or how clogged cum gutters work. I didn't get a response back, but since she was really asking me what I was passionate or somewhat knowledgeable about, but then again, talking about the bread prices during the 30 Years' War would not have made any more sense or been any better. Instead, I talked about how I make up like believable lies, like how Tucker Carlson was behind JonBenet Ramsey's death, since his wife's lawyer was JonBenet's father, who had lost them a case in a price gouging scheme for TV dinners. I did use this theory on another date, taco date, but she just stared at me like I asked her to explain the plot of Inception using only interpretive dance, which I could do. Like the spinning top hand is just a pirouette with jazz hands. The layers of dreams, a conga line that just gets progressively more chaotic. But yeah, conspiracy theories can be quite idiotic. Like, take for the example about the one that heard about big pen companies at the bathroom sink, or what my boss calls a water cooler. And he's like, you ever notice how like favorite pens always seem to run out of ink when you need it the most? It's not like a manufacturing flaw, but it's a calculated move. And according to the theory, these conglomerates are part of a secret cabal that's engineering pens to fail at the most inconvenient moments. And what their true agenda is? To keep you forever buying their replacements, thus fattening their profit margins. And I totally believe it, because this pen did not last as long. And sure, again, it sounds absurd, but then again, so does the idea of like your pen dying at the worst possible moment, which is bad luck. And in this conspiracy, it's all part of the plan. And the next time you're forced to like buy yet another disposable ballpoint, just remember that you're not being scammed by chance, you're being scammed by design. And what you will see is, you're probably thinking like, intern Tom, you can't just write notes on your phone or a computer. And you'd be right by that, but they use their lobbying firms to make kids learn how to handwrite at such a young age, write out math problems with a pen or pencil, scribble bubbles on answer sheets with a pen or pencil, write essays with a pen or pencil. That's how they do it. You can't escape the stationary equipment cabal. I had more to say, but I'm approaching like another 15 seconds until which I realize in this video that it was the moment that I had been using the wrong goddamn pen for the past 10 minutes. And that's fine, because the pen immediately runs out once I get things started again, which we'll find out in like 5 seconds as I fill the void of this monotonous voiceover. Well, you should probably notice there was a lot of performance issues with the Xtra Boooold pen. It kind of stopped working for periods of time, and I thought it had to do with the papers being on hard surfaces, and that's why I used multiple sheets of paper. And then you also probably noticed that the lines did get thicker, but I didn't think it improved the liveliness of the pen. And my thing is that the thicker the pen, the thicker lines was probably a main factor for why the pen ran out of ink so fast, because I don't think the reservoir in the ink pen thing changes when you have a thicker pen. Compared to the extra smooth pen though, the Xtra Boooold has a ballpoint that is like twice or 3 times the size, which would mean that the ballpoint surface has like an area increase of like 150%, which therefore means that you're using the ink or more of the ink. Sad. So for any therapists out there, when you come across a patient that only smokes when he drinks, which is rare, but you can write loser 566 times in your little patient notebook.